Hello everyone, I'm De-fu-bix, and this is a progression video from our previous one, and to show you the improvement that we've done to that build as we've been moving on to Act 3 now into Cruel 1. And I will leave a link down below to the prior build if you're before all this, and you can kind of follow that and see if that's a build that you like. Just do bear in mind this is mainly based around a unique, but I will show you ways to work around that and not having a unique but still make the build work. Now let's talk about some of the changes to our prior build. Firstly, we've got rid of Staggering Palm. We don't really need that, especially coming into Act 3. I don't want to have too many buttons to press. That just could be because I'm pretty new to using a keyboard and it's just a bit of a head fuck. But we have actually swapped it out for Shockwave because we are now needing to be at a bit of a distance. I'm getting to the point, especially on my monk, where I'm going to have to not necessarily jump in and get crowded, just come back a bit, because we're going to use this Shockwave to actually proc our power charges to get our build rolling. Not only that, we have actually now brought in Cast of Shock, which we've unlocked. Just bear in mind that you're going to need 60 spirit to have this permanently running in the background, and this is going to house two different skills that is going to debuff the enemies, their lightning resistance, and the other is going to increase the chance of shock. Now let's go into the skills and support gems that we are currently using. Now firstly, you're going to see the Tempest Bell. Very situational for us. We're not going to use it all the time because we want to stay at a range at the moment. This is mainly for bossing because just the amount of damage and stun damage the Tempest Bell can do is unreal. So it's always going to be needed in boss battles. And potentially, you know, if you're in a situation where you're crowded and you can proc it, definitely drop it. It's just, it's a good ability to have. You know, the fact that we have so many slots here to use, it doesn't hurt to have certain abilities that you're only going to use situationally. Now on the Tempest Bell, we do have Ruthless. This is just to increase the stun damage. I mean, the fact that you get 500% stun build up is pretty crazy. So this is perfect for bossing, as you're just going to be staggering bosses consistently. Then we've got our charge staff. Now we're going to always want this up. So as soon as we get a power charge, whether it's 1, 5 or 7, we want to spend those power charges on our charge staff, because not only is it going to do more damage, it's going to help us shock people quicker, which is going to help our cast on shock. And this paired with our basic attack, which is going to be our Tempest Fury, the attack speed we got is crazy. So you're going to be pumping out so many projectiles. On that, we've got Persistence. Again, because we want it up consistently, this is going to increase the duration by 40%. There's times where I've got 7 power charges. I spend those charges to fuel this, and it's up there for 50 seconds, which means every power charge between that gap before this ends, I can just spend on Falling Thunder and spam that out to do big boy damage. And then lastly, we've got Cursing Current. This is just to increase our shock damage pretty much in an AoE. So more shock damage, more mobs get shot, the more our cast on shock procs, and it just goes in a circle. Then we've got our Storm Wave. This is going to be our main attack pretty much. You know, now we're staying at a distance, we just want to keep throwing that out. And especially where we've got no power charges, we need to throw them out to get power charges to then get the ball rolling on our pretty much build. On it, we've got Maim. Again, didn't know what to put on it, but I thought if we're staying at a distance, Maim's going to help us slow targets, which you can see here, slows them, and it reduces their evasion rating, which is a plus. And then we've got 100% more chance to shock. Again, if you're building into shock and you've got cast on shock, you need to shock as much as possible. Moving on to our Falling Thunder. This is our big boy attack, where this is the main ability we want to spend our power charges on. Because again, the more power charges you have there before you use it on this, the wider, the bigger the cone on the attack, and the more damage you do. On this, we do have Perpetual Charge. This is just so there is a 35% chance that you don't lose those charges you've spent it on. So for example, I could have 8. I spend 8 to do, you know, the highest cone, the highest damage I can do. But there is a chance where I still have 8, which means I can drop it down again. And then again and again, depending on your RNG. And then the last one we got on it is just critical hit chance. Because it's our big boy damage, it just makes sense to put our crit multiplier on that. That was my thought process. Then onto our Tempest Fury. Now I understand you may not have 3. I want to say stupidly spent it on this. I wish I spent it on something else. But I guess I have to live with those consequences. But it's not all bad. This is our basic attack. You know, this is my... I play WASD, so this is my normal click. We're mainly going to use this either to hit the bell, because this is going to be where our attack speed is. So hit the bell, or when we have charged staff active, we can then use that, which means we're throwing out so many projectiles of that charged staff. We've got, obviously, the increased 25% attack speed with martial tempo. We've then got close combat, because when we're going to be hitting the bell, mainly on bosses, we're going to be literally touching chests, almost kissing at this rate. So this seems like one of the best options to have on it. And then lastly, we've got this one where it's with Tempest Fury, it's a 3-hit combo. And the last hit is almost like a sweeping, extra damage, wider area attack. This just makes it so once you've done that, it repeats it one more time. So on the 3rd and 4th of the combo, you're doing that big boy sort of cleave. And lastly, obviously, Cast on Shock, which seems to be quite the favourite at the moment with the meta gems. Obviously, Cast on Shock because we're going to be shocking a lot. And on that, we have Voltaic Mark, which this is what I spoke about earlier, where this is going to increase the chances of shock on that target. And it will continuously spread also. And then we've got Conductivity, which curses the enemies and reduces their lightning resistance by 33%. Which again, means we're going to do more damage. And then this is going to keep proccing, and then they explode, and it will spread. So those are our current skills. Moving on to our passive tree, we are an invoker. If I had the currencies, I'm the type of person where I always keep fucking resetting my stats. So I'm kind of low on gold, but if I could, I would probably drop these off and potentially either go down this route just for our custom shock, or maybe double down on our lightning damage. Now, first thing you do need to understand is I'm able to go down this route because I'm able to sustain my mana regen and health and energy shield. If you're having issues, I would highly suggest you focus more on certain nodes like Mindful Awareness or anything that can really give you better sort of sustainability. Because if you can't do that, the build's not really going to work. But what I've currently got, you know, you've got your basic nodes going down the Essence of Storm for, you know, your more lightning damage, chance to shock. I'm then focusing on getting all of these passives to do power charges. Now, all of them are going to be something and then plus maximum power charges, because higher the power charge, the more damage multiplier on our power charge spending abilities. So I've gone all the way up, went and got this just to get the +1, and obviously, you know, you get the 20% increased damage if you've gained a power charge recently, which we're going to be doing it all the time. Please don't look at this. I'm building up the money to reduce this, to put it elsewhere. I've then gone to the other power node, again, another power charge and a bunch of other stuff. I've then gone down to Siphon just for mana leech and more mana per kill, because we're going to be doing a lot of killing. I then did have this one. I think I'm going to slowly build back into my attack speed, because attack speed is going to be very important on this build for our charged staff. So then I'll probably fill that back up. And then we've gone all the way down this highway, mainly using intellect. Then we go into our quarterstaff abilities, which if you're a monk and you're using a quarterstaff, hands down, these are probably the best passives in the tree. So do make sure you get them there all the way on the right in the shape of a quarterstaff. And then you want to get all the way up to Whirling Assault, all the way down to one with the Storm. Again, it links to power charges. This one is really good. Basically, what it's saying is if you spend 1, you're technically spending 2. So if you think about it, if we can get maximum of 8 stacks, and we have this, we're technically spending 9, which is quite a big multiplier. And then I went all the way up to get, again, another power charge node. As you can see, this is all built around power charges. I'm just trying to think a little bit outside the box compared to what some other people are doing. I just want to focus on power charges. And the fact that we have that unique, which has given us a 20% chance to get a power charge on hit, it makes sense to try and build around it. And then I was going to this node about meta gems, but I'm thinking to go all the way down here and maybe get more attack speed. And again, even more attack speed, and obviously dexterity and evasion rating. That's what I'm currently doing. And I might even have a look at some of the nodes down here. And yeah, that's my current passive tree. Now, we might as well show you some mobbing. Where can we go for this? Let's go to Clearfell. This is where I'm currently at in the game. So first things first, I want to build up power charges by using my shockwave. We've already got one. Then I can cast my shock staff. We now have 4, which now I can do the big boy attacks and just keep building it up and keep spamming it. There you go. Look, I don't even know how. Is that 6? Telling you, the cone of it gets so big when you start building up. And just remember, if I've spent 6, technically I've spent 7. So it's always +1. So let's keep doing this. Get our charge staff. Like I said, you can get close if you really want to and drop your bell. As you can see, our cast of shock is proccing. And it's dropping curses. There we go, buff on the top screen. We've got 6 stacks. That's 33 seconds. Then at distance. And if you do have your charge staff and you do cast your shockwave, you are technically throwing a charge staff. So we do actually have a boss coming up here. We could try to kill it. On camera, we'll do it live. I am tempted to dive into cold next, but none of the cold abilities have power charges. Unless if you're still using your charge staff. That's the only other reason I can think. Do you know, I do keep forgetting I do have the bell just sitting there that I can use in those situations. Right, where is this boss? Just over here, isn't it? Right, so I would probably try and initiate... No, that's not freeze me. I'm trying to initiate and get super close. Hit that bell, maybe drop one of these. Gotta make sure you keep your charge staff active. Yeah, make sure you're hitting the bell when you're gonna drop it. There you go, we're getting loads of these in a row, look at that. Careful with the AoE. Drop the bell one more time, spam it. We can drop more of that. Got another one. Do some range attacks. Light work. And that was all live as well. Look at that.
I must maintain a fine balance.
But yeah, that's kind of the gameplay loop, really. First thing you want to do, pretty much use your shockwave. This just keeps you at a good distance to build up your power charges. Again, if you don't have this unique that I've got here, with the 20% chance to gain a power charge on hit, which is what this is mainly built around, you're going to have to use Killing Palm or Siphoning Strike. Now, obviously, with Siphoning Strike, you can still do this. Once they're shocked, then you can reach in and siphon the power charge. And with all the nodes we got on our passive tree, you can get it fully stacked. So you'll just have to go down that route. But do try and maybe look at the Path of Exile training site, because this is a really good... If you want to go down the power charge electric route on the monk, this is such a good unique. But again, you want to keep doing this until you get a power charge. Then activate your staff. Then attack normally with your Tempest Fury as your basic attack. And then all the other power charges, you just want to keep using your All-in Thunder. And anytime someone gets close, maybe drop the bell if you have that active. And then you just keep repeating. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you know, please give us a subscription. We're mainly streaming, but we're trying to start making more content because I'm so fucking obsessed with this game right now. It's unreal. And yeah, if you want to see more from me, give us a sub. Hopefully give it a like if you enjoyed it. And, you know, let me know if there's got any questions. Let us know in the comments. I'm replying to all comments at the moment, or any sort of suggestions for any other builds, or if you want me to look into different kinds of builds on the monk, just let me know. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.